I mean, yeah, of course I want kids. Jay-Z and Beyonce have got kids, so I can do it too.
The most telling thing he's ever said.
That's what I wrote. I went, there we are. There we are.
And America, there you are.
Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé. Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown. 90-day Beyonce. Marrying someone you only met on your phone. Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality, yes.
Let's love.
This is kind of how you see yourself as a hustler, mogul. Yeah.
Even though your car doesn't have heat.
And you need a 2x4. And your apartment doesn't have a bathroom. A lot of sissies
Just
came
like
at me in my tinfoil hattie supposition of he moved into this apartment for the show. And
Came for you in a positive way.
Yeah. And
Yeah, sorry. The way it sounded like you were saying it was in negating you.
At me to say they agreed.
Poodle's not going to be clear this episode, y'all, because he didn't sleep. He's had construction at his place. No, he's doing good. You're doing better.
I'm doing the best I can.
You look better than yesterday. Yesterday, you looked like a mad scientist.
I look cracked out.
You've got some sleep. I'm glad.
If you're like me, it sounds like an infomercial. If you're like me and you have male pattern baldness, if you have issues with, I don't know, sleeping or just staying asleep, or for me, it's the issue of not being able to fall asleep. And when I finally fall asleep at 4 a.m., I have to sleep until 9:30 or 10.
You should, you know what? Maybe
don't tell me what I should do.
Well, maybe we should switch. Maybe you should come to Santa Barbara because it is so sleepy here, and I sleep so well here. I was just talking to Steven at the yacht club about that. And he said, yeah, I think it's just something in the sea air or something, but maybe we could switch. You could come up to the house.
Yeah, I'm going to stay here. Thanks, though.
Well, I'm just offering. Y'all
you know
were
what?
remote, but go.
Sometimes I just want to be heard. I don't need you to solve my problems.
I wasn't trying to tell you to solve your problems. I'm saying you could come up here and you could stick a stick up your ass.
This is 90 Day Fiancé, and we are reality gays.
Ooh, I'm Maddie, and I'm looking across the window, and I can see some roofers are roofing, and I'm getting, woo. Oh, roofers. Man, that roofers, that's what I said. Oh, they're putting on solar panels. Man, that just brought me back to when, oh my God, I just had a flashback of when we had to get a new roof on our house, and I was like 10 years old, and it was warm. It was like a June day in Oklahoma, and there was a shirtless, what was his name? He graduated with my cousin Kelly. Oh, and he had worked with his shirt off. I just had an image. That just sent me.
When you were 10 and you saw, I assume, a teenage boy?
No, he wasn't. He had just graduated high school, but it was one of my friends. I can't remember his name.
So he was 18.
He was 18, yes.
I said a teenage boy.
This sinewy man just roofing on the top of our house and tearing them off and then hammering, and they got a hammer down that roof, and it kind of goes thud, 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 like your head would on a headboard. Ooh.
I don't know why.
Oh, man, I'm here.
I'm not having that description today. This is episode 4 of this new season.
Yes.
The episode is called Of These Two Lovers.
Of These Two Lovers. I don't know why.
Thank you. I also want to put out a thank you to, before we get into announcements, thank you for those who came at me, not came for me, came at me to tell me what you thought Shekinah's sister Shariah's tattoo was. Because I had, there were a lot of, we played a game. There were some guesses, like I said Bela Lugosi.
You did. You also said a president that I didn't know.
James K. Polk was my guess.
I forgot who I said.
I think you had suggested, I don't know, it was a bad guess. But
it was not. It made you laugh. And you don't laugh being fake.
No, I laughed at a bad guess, though.
You did not.
I think so. Maybe Susan B. Anthony. It looked like a woman in a man, and someone said, "This is Frida Kahlo," and I said, "That's a great guess."
I was closer. I said Amelia Earhart. That's who I said.
It's not. I don't know if that's closer.
It's closer to the gender.
But she looked nothing like Amelia Earhart. And this tattoo, however, looked nothing like Frida Kahlo. But it was closer. It was more to the idea. Strangely, though, instead of mi amor, it said mi amore.
Mi amore. That's that.
Yeah, in Italian.
Also, you gaslit me and said there wasn't a band called The Descendants, and a bunch of our punk sissies came for you.
You did not know that was a band.
I did too.
Name a song.
Fuck Me Under the Stairs.
How's that gonna go?
Fuck me under the stairs. That's it.
It's not very punk. Fuck me under the stairs now. Fuck me under the stairs.
Yeah, I'm not a punk sissy.
Under the stairs.
I'm not a punk sissy. Didn't know.
No, you're kind of the farthest thing from that. There's not a lot about you that is punk.
No, I'm fine with that. Selling Sunset Season 7, y'all. It's coming out. Let me fix my camera angle for Christina. Hold on. There we go. Okay.
When I took that blanket off my window, it's so much more lit in my apartment.
Well, good. I'm glad.
I'm just getting adjusted to it. It's also cloudy here today. I've turned on my lights, so if I look a little peaked, it's because it's cloudy.
Thank you, Al Roker. Thank you for that update on the weather in Los Angeles that no one gives a shit about.
Your non sequiturs are ridiculous. So I won't have that. Selling Sunset Season 7.
Are you going to tell us who's 102 today, brought to us by Smuckers?
That is not. Is that Al? Does Al Roker still do the thing, the birthdays? That was Willard Scott.
Scott did that. Yeah.
Brought to you by Smuckers.
He's dead, right?
He is dead.
Okay.
He is definitely dead.
Yeah.
Look at this pretty lady.
Never made it to 100.
Shuffleboard, collecting coupons, and yelling at her grandchildren.
Yes. That's what they want. Anyway, y'all, it's good. We're into like 7 episodes of it because we have a relationship with Netflix, and we've been able to watch episodes early. We're enjoying it very much.
One other update about that I don't know if you've heard about this. I guess people are letting me know about this, that apparently Brandan and Mary have a monkey that was chained up at their house, and people have been very upset about it. And y'all, I hope the monkey gets loose and kills both of them. That seems poetic justice.
Maybe that gay gecko can free that monkey. That's what I hope.
Want to get sexy?
Shocker. Christian and Chloe are Endsville, y'all. Splitsville.
Dunzo.
Anyway, that's all we have.
If those crazy kids can't make it, who can?
Who can? I want to tell y'all this too. If some of you are already like on Love After Lockup tier, the $8 tier, the whole enchilada, or you get these shows ad free and you just want them ad free, I'm going to say this. If you have not revisited classic 90 Day Fiancé, this season of Happily Ever After that we are covering is so fucking good. And every episode we're exhausted by how tense we get during the episode. Anyway, so that's on the $5 tier normally. So if you're on Selling Sunset or Selling the OC or Love is Blind, you get that already. We're just putting that out there.
I was gonna. I think
so good.
We were recording watch-alongs yesterday, and I even said, I wish that these Larissa, Debbie cult scenes could be presented like it was performance art. Mm-hmm. Like, I think you could put this in La Mama or something.
Well, no. What would happen? That translation of that now is 2 people would reenact it on TikTok.
Right. But
yes.
I think it would need to be in a theatrical space with pretentious people watching. That's what I'm talking about. That's the performance art.
Maybe that's what we'll add to the night. We will actually direct what maybe you'll write 90 Day Fiancé, the musical.
No. You have to do it verbatim.
No, we'll take the scenes.
Use the script.
We'll use the script, but then you could write musical. You could write a musical score.
It would do too much to make it a musical because it would need to rhyme. I want these scenes to be shown for what they are.
You could do a lot of fun rhymes though with Larissa because she has E to everything. So it doesn't really matter. You don't have to use...
That's true. There would be a lot of potential for rhyming.
You could say potentially. We could literally have a number called Super Blossom Body Splash.
We just finished watching the Chantel confrontation with Lydia.
Oh my God. Now that you said that, I dreamt about it last night.
Yeah, maybe you need some distance.
Nicole has purple hair now. Nicole. It's so good. It's so good. If you're new to us, just want to remind people at the $15 tier, you can watch our producer, Christina, does an edit of kind of the best moments of each episode. And we watch it for the first time because we've never seen that. So we're reacting to it. It's like our version of Pillow Biter Talk. And then we podcast about the whole episode later, which is on the $5 tier. Anyway,
in season 4 of Happily Ever After, episode 7, you all remember that as the episode when Nicole debuts the purple hair. Mm-hmm. And we know that things ain't ever gonna be like they were.
I think it's that she looks like a troll doll who can't find her hairspray. It's just all falling.
But weirdly, though, the entitlement is stronger.
Oh, much
with
stronger.
The purple hair. It gave her strength.
Speaking of trolls, y'all, we're not going to be talking about the Trolls movie. In fact, the Trolls movie probably doesn't even want to talk about the Trolls movie. And we're not because we're SAG podcast. But then we're not talking about movies right now.
What is this segue?
Well, Justin Timberlake is in the new Trolls movie. And we are on part 2.
He's in it?
Yes, he was been in like all those movies.
Is a voice?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch them. But y'all, on part 2.
I had to see the first one.
Probably by the time you're listening to this, I will have read all of it. I'm only about halfway through now.
The Woman in Me.
Which is my favorite Shania Twain song. But it's the title of Britney Spears' book.
That's your favorite?
I love that
Shania Twain song?
You don't know it. It's more of it was a popular song, but yeah.
I do know the song. The Woman in Me.
Yeah, I love that song. I was going to look because I want to get the quote
strange choice.
Didn't ask. Didn't ask. What's your favorite opera?
You didn't need to,
no,
because
I
opined.
Yeah, again, like you said at the show, if I want any solutions...
I'm a gay man. My job is to give you opinions completely unsolicited.
But when other people do it to you, you hate it.
You know what? I accept it. I accept it as...
You just yelled at me for giving you an opinion.
You didn't give me an opinion. You told me what to do, and I don't like being told what to do.
Not the same. It's the same. Okay. I wanted this book. I don't know if you saw this. Brittany posted about it. Her book is the highest selling celebrity memoir in history.
Wow.
On day 1. on day one.
Wow.
There's people reading this that I know in my life that don't even read, that bought this book. I am personally listening.
Maybe it'll begin a whole new generation of readership. Or maybe it won't.
It's not Oprah's book club this month. Should be. I'm going to tell you all this, and we're going to talk about that in part 2. And mainly too, I'm also going to talk about, I'm actually listening to the book with Michelle Williams. And that's all I'm going to say. We'll talk about it. Chris Farah and I from DocuSweeties there's a very long text chain. We are both very excited by this. So anyway,
people are giving Michelle Williams rave reviews for her Justin Timberlake voice.
It's fantastic. We're going to talk about it. Anyway, so that's all going to be on part 2. Anything else? I think that's it, right?
Let's get into it.
Great. Let's talk about Gino and Jasmine.
Gino is giving me the cold treatment. So
that's what happens when you get ass implants and you spent your money elsewhere.
When you get a square ass. So Gino is like, I feel betrayed.
I don't think I want an ass implant because I wouldn't want someone grabbing my butt and it feels like I have
neoprene or like, what is it? Like,
I would do a fat transfer. Yeah, I would do a fat transfer to my butt because you're just putting in your butt what you don't have. But that's more expensive, I bet. I don't know. Or I would just do squats.
Well,
I'm not judging her for getting it. I'm just saying I don't think I would like the effect. It's like when men get pec implants.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Have you ever been with a man who has pec implants?
I have not. I haven't
either.
I don't think
the
that's
science is interesting to me.
Usually my type of men who are getting lots of implants.
I wish I knew someone with pec implants or a butt implant and they'd let me feel of it just so I know. The science is interesting to me.
Do whatever you need to, but I think we can say that Jasmine, like the Silva twins, I think there's some body dysmorphia.
There is. Well, she admits it this episode. I'm going to say this now. I feel like I need to put this out there. If you remember 6 months from now when we're out on live shows and you say, Maddie, I have a butt implant, feel of my butt, I'm not going to do that at a live show.
Please don't do that.
Please don't ask me. I just realized someone would. They would go, oh, Maddie, you can feel my butt.
Now, I'll feel your husband's butt, but he doesn't have to have a butt implant.
No, you won't. No, you will not.
If they offer.
No, you will not. I don't want to get sued.
So Gino is betrayed, bewildered, bewitched, bothered. And he says it feels like the wedding doesn't matter to her. But y'all, she calls her sister. I'm going to butcher this. It looks like Sue Ellen, but with a Z. But like maybe it's Zuayin. I'm going to butcher.
I didn't write it down. I just say sister.
Sister Z.
A lot of people still think it's her daughter.
No, that's Liz.
Oh, it's Liz.
It's her other sister.
Other sister. Oh, okay. So, yeah, Liz is curly hair. Yeah.
So basically, she's asking how the kids are, and she's like, "Well, the big deal is now that remember how I was thinking that Gino could be the kid's sponsor because I'm not going to be able to make money because I can't work right now. Spoiler alert: she ain't gonna work. I'm going to tell you that now.
I don't know what kind of job Jasmine would do."
Especially in the U.S.
I mean, she's a teacher. Maybe could she get her credentials and teach? I guess she could do that.
She could do ESL.
I'm not saying she doesn't work. I just don't see her like handling packages at UPS.
No. I don't think Jasmine really wants to. Jasmine has an Instagram account now. She's well known. Why would she work?
Yeah, that's true. They could do what Darcy and Stacey are doing. I don't think we talked about that. We should tell people. Darcy, Stacey, Florian, and Georgie are all doing a weekend in Vegas where you can pay like thousands of dollars
It's like $3,000
to do all this stuff.
Fireside chats.
Some sissy said we should start a GoFundMe for the guys to go.
We're not going to do that.
We don't want to
do
go.
that.
Please
No.
give your money. There's a lot of things in the world right now that need your money.
There's a lot of better places for your money than for have us go.
I don't want a weekend. I just want one night with Darcy and Stacey. That's all I want.
I don't want to pay them to be nice to us.
I would pay Georgie for a lot of things. But,
although I would pay $500 to sit next to Florian and film it so I could perform it later on.
I am worried. It worries me a little bit that they're just publicly now Darcy. It's clear Darcy and Georgie are together because they didn't leave that up in Darcy and Stacey, and it makes me worried there's not going to be a new season of Darcy and Stacey.
Oh no!
I really hope there is, y'all. Tell TLC you want it.
Maybe they're looking for more. I feel like they would have announced it if they hadn't been another new season. Maybe I'm wrong.
When we went to that party, remember we talked to the EP and we said, is there a new season? And she just said, fingers crossed. So it's not confirmed.
So they're
she's talking to sister.
She's talking, the sister Z says, but you said she's like, he was going to sponsor the kids, but now he doesn't have a job. So
what did you get yourself into?
Yes. Now she's like, I need to really tell him about the gift / loan. She keeps calling it.
Yeah.
Where she says he loaned her money, but then decided it was a gift. Anyway, she says, I see him as a brother that I once had sex with and made a sex video with.
A brother who still wants to rim your butthole.
Now, I will say, I have several men that I don't know if I'd call them my brothers when we weren't role playing.
I don't support this. I do not.
Yeah, more like when we were playing middle school classmates.
That
less family.
No, if you're not supporting the roofing, I'm not supporting this.
Going over to your house and having some Totino's pizza rolls.
No.
The first fruits of boyhood.
Now I'm turned on, but not because of sex, because you just said Totino's pizza rolls. Yeah.
Totino's pizza rolls are the hottest magma-like thing in this. Everyone who's eaten one has been scalded and forever marked by how hot a Totino's pizza roll was.
You've got to cut them in half or break them in half before you eat them. You don't just take them out of the oven and throw them in your mouth.
I didn't know that was a thing. Why would you break them in half? Because the cheese will ooze out.
I don't think you are a credible resource about this because you constantly eat things that are too hot for you.
I wish I could disagree with you, but you're right.
Y'all, they literally put the plate down in the restaurant and say, this is really hot, be careful. And Jake just shoves it in his mouth and goes,
I will always touch it. I will always touch the plate. Yeah. I burn my mouth a lot. It's like Stouffer's French bread pizzas too. It's just kind of the same thing. I want it so bad because it's hot and it's pizza and I want to eat it.
Bless your heart. You're going to make bad food choices this weekend because you've had a long week.
I know. I can already feel it tonight.
Are they done? Are they done with the construction at least?
They've got, I think they're one more day. They still have to put on screens and shit. I don't know.
But they're done painting.
Kind of just want to give them poison lemonade.
Didn't one of your neighbors move out because of this?
He didn't move out. I think he was done. He was done with Los Angeles, kind of.
Oh, he moved out of the city.
He moved back to Michigan. Where Gino and Jasmine are.
You got to be depressed to go back to that cold weather and in October.
Yeah, that's what I thought was weird too. I would say give it another LA winter. Go back in April.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he needed to go back. So y'all, she says, I'll eventually tell Gino, but not now. But we are right now she is she goes downstairs and like, what are you doing, Gino? And he's like, I was just reading some news.
Jasmine. So
USA Today, definitely.
For sure. She's apologizing to him. And it's Gino's caught off guard because, as he says, she never apologizes to me. So it's like, it would be like, it would be funny. Like if Jake apologized to me. That doesn't happen a lot. Usually,
I've apologized to you before,
like 3 times.
Well,
in our defense, though, we don't really.
You're rarely correct.
In our defense, we don't really fight a lot. No. So we've never really had a lot of people always ask that in our Q&As. We shockingly really don't ever get into arguments a lot.
No.
Especially now that we're not roommates.
It's easier on the podcast where we can just take it out on each other.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But still, it always is a little like you say it and I wonder if like an actual ninja is going to come and shake me from behind. And I don't know if they're there or not.
That's what I want you to think. Things that are rare are beautiful. We should. They're rare. The price, like pearls. They're even more valued. So you should appreciate. You should be happy my apologies are rare. They mean even more. All right. So anyway, Gino basically says, I'm just shocked that you blew the money I gave you for a cosmetic procedure that you don't need. And Jasmine says, I feel bad.
I do need it. I do.
Because she says, this is where she says, I lost all the money. This is when she says, I did this for you. And that is where I feel like they could have some communication. If she's thinking she did it for him, it's really that she feels insecure in her body. So she's trying to give him, quote unquote, the body that he wants in a woman. But it's
this actually now I know some of you might have watched this and be like, oh, get real. She did this for her. But in like body dysmorphia mixed with love addiction.
I agree.
This makes sense.
I can see her point. I'm just saying what would need to be communication wise is him saying, I don't need this from you. But I don't know if she'll ever hear it.
Well, no, because what she needs, she says she talks because she had alopecia, y'all. That's why she wore wigs and stuff a lot. And so for her to have her natural hair is a big thing. And
he says, I love your natural hair.
Understanding that, like when she said, I spent thousands on wigs and I stopped doing that. Y'all, this is kind of what I love about this couple. I know some of you are over them, but what I love about them, sometimes things get amped up. But they both actually, in their own way, are trying to compromise and be a better person for the other person. I believe that with Gino and Jasmine.
Weirdly, I think you're right. It's just this is the process that we're watching. It's going to take longer because they're both such absolute freaks.
Well, and I think she is the fact that she talks about the reflection in the mirror doesn't match what she sees. I hope that she goes to her own type of therapy for that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Totally agree.
Yeah.
That's all I've got. Shall we move on to Rob and Sophie, which is gonna be the dumpster fire of this season, y'all. Especially what we saw in the preview for next week.
I'd have forgot what I even saw. What I watched it.
She's crying, saying, I think I made a mistake. I don't know anyone here. I think mostly due to what I'm going to say this now is he is going to starve her of attention. This is someone who is emotionally, who wounds with emotional neglect. and it's going to be hard to watch.
Yeah, like you said, don't be in a relationship with someone who gives you the silent treatment,
who neglects you emotionally.
That said, I think Sophie has way more trauma in her past that we don't know about. The way that she shuts down and kind of, she does that thing that Kalani does where she looks down and kind of stares out like she wants a hole to swallow her. Oh, that does remind me, y'all. I will be doing a podcast with Married to Reality. It's confirmed about The Last Resort. So stay tuned for that. We will be talking about the season.
That means I don't ever have to talk about it again.
Oh, probably for next season. We're going to, it depends on, as long as there's not 3 episodes of 90 Day Fiancé, if it's a difference of Last
3
Resort,
different spinoffs.
If it's Last Resort or Happily Ever After, we're doing Last Resort.
That I would agree with.
Gladly. Anyway, I think she's got like some super trauma, but it doesn't matter because right now they're driving down the highway
and we're going to an arcade. Don't turn back because we're going to meet our sister.
Dave and Buster's,
who's a lot nicer than Rob.
Wait, y'all, it's been a while. It's been a while since we heard Driving Down the Highway.
It is true. Those of you who, that is from our Smothered show. If you don't remember what a banger Driving Down the Highway was, and you never listened to the hit that is Driving Down the Highway. I believe the song was called Highway.
It was called Highway, yeah.
But we played it at all of our live shows. That for a while, that song was anything we could talk about.
Making me feel so special.
Where do I get these nerves?
Although, don't forget, y'all, the best part about it was she didn't have a driver's license, so she can't drive. And she was terrified of driving. So, anyway, God, that's season 2 of Smothered was a golden time.
It was. It really was.
It was. Anyway,
kissy faces. I'm going to chase you.
Poodle, who the fuck goes to a Dave and Buster with no children just to have dinner? To meet in all of Los Angeles. It's even in Inglewood, y'all. There are so many places to go in LA, like cute little restaurants and like.
It wasn't a Dave and Buster's, but it was like I will say I feel like production may have suggested this because it was a different kind of environment. It was something where they could get a lot of different shots, and I think that because like there's like colored lights everywhere. But it is a stupid place to have a discussion about whether you want to have children or not.
I mean, even Sophie said it.
And I expected to hear video game effects, like when she goes, "I'm not sure I want to have children." Do.
Yes. Also, it's just not where you want to meet your future sister-in-law. Whatever.
They've met before, but I liked it where she's apparently a party planner, and she's also offered to plan their wedding. And I don't know why I thought, I feel like a party planner, that it's a specific job, but I think a wedding planner is even more specific job. I for some reason, I'm just worried that Victoria is her name. Maybe a little, if Sophie wants a lot of things, because being a wedding planner is so specific. Maybe it'll be a small gathering.
I have no idea. I do have a feeling Victoria is going to know more about this, though, regardless, than Sophie is.
I liked it when he said, "Don't make eye contact immediately with her because she can get aggressive." And I wrote it, "Is she a bear?" But then she's like, "Are you kidding?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm kidding."
Because she's actually, I got to say, she's lovely. So lovely and bubbly. And the way that she acted about this whole thing was so great. I will say, you were kind of like, you were talking to me. I think we were talking about something outside of a show, and you were like, you're like, "I'm shocked that you don't think Rob is really hot." And I'm like, it's not that I don't think he's hot. It's just, it's actually not the way he looks. It's like he opened his mouth immediately and something rubbed me the wrong way. And so that's why I'm not very attracted to him. I will say this. That man is a beautiful crier.
Oh yeah, the crying was something.
When that man cried, I went.
The crying was something.
I see it now.
We've already done
and
a little bit.
I want to raw dog it while you cry because that's the American way with me.
We've found out. Someone was commenting on, and with this is by no means confirmed or anything like that, but someone was saying, talking about, there was just a clip someone sent us. He grew up in Olathe, Kansas. So he grew up, and it's like, by no means, someone who could, I grew up with him, by no means was it the hood. So I
think
feel
we
like
were right. Our instincts were right.
This is a manufactured identity.
I agree with you. I don't think he lived here. I think they rented this place. I think they found this place.
I swear to God.
Or he found it. And if it's not production, he found it and it's having someone live there for like their story.
He's the biggest fucking poser.
Yeah, that's why it's not attractive to me. Yeah.
I feel like
he's terrible in bed. Terrible.
You get him at the right time when he can be a little more vulnerable.
I don't think he's ever going to think about your needs. I can make it work.
Wow. Doesn't matter. I'll take what I need.
You'll fuck a baseball bat if it's blowing in the breeze.
No, I'll just say if it's all about their needs, I'll flip the script and turn them around and get mine. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Sometimes they're like,
cut to, he rams you, spooges all over you in 2 seconds and then gets up to leave and you say, that's fine. I'll just finish myself.
No. He's not going anywhere. I lay on top of him until it's happening. And then I say, I'm going to be like a praying mantis. And when I come, I'm going to rip your head off and lay my eggs in your body.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
That's what happens. Now that's an animal I can admire. So anyway, they're talking and it's all fine. And she wants a courthouse wedding, but she's like, not a big deal. I don't want to be stressed. And then she kind of says, do you want kids? And this is so weird because this is a normal thing that I guess the sister had. I might not ask this. You would ask this. It's a very Vanessa Lachey question.
I think it's appropriate though. Or not appropriate. It's not the right word, but I think they knew each other before. This isn't their first meeting. Right. It would be different if they, yeah.
I would not ask this of someone until they had been married a year. I don't know why. I just don't.
No,
feel like
I wouldn't ask it either.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was like a faux pas per se.
Yeah. Faux pas. So, and then he says, yeah, one day. And then she says, we haven't really had the conversation. And then she says, really, it's that I don't want to be pregnant. And Rob said, so you're saying you don't want to have kids? And then later on, the sister says, if you don't want to have kids, is that a problem for you? Or maybe that's him. No, I'm sorry. This is Sophie. If I don't want to have kids, is that a problem for you? And
she actually said at first, if I don't want to be pregnant.
Oh, you're right.
So because I first thought, wait, is she saying she doesn't want kids, or is she saying? Because that's a big difference. Because I know some women, they're like, I want kids, but I just want to do a surrogate or adopt. I don't want to fucking do that to my body.
And what's interesting is, and that's when he says, he's like, I don't want it to be me and Sophie forever. Just me and Sophie forever.
Well,
and maybe,
I think Victoria nailed it. She said, there's a lot of assuming on both of their parts. And I don't think they've actually talked about this.
Well, because you know what he said? Apparently talking about kids for him was, what are we going to name our kids? Which is, I'll be honest, I have been, let's say, impregnated by a man and speculated on my children's names. That's how fuck drunk I can get. So,
wow.
I'm saying that is not a fair discussion of children.
I want to say it's not a fair discussion of children, but there is, in that response to that, when someone says, what do you think we're going to name our kids? Then I would say, I don't know if I'm going to want to have kids. That is a natural response to that.
I agree.
Should have elicited a conversation.
What if that? So the phrase, but you phrase this way. What if it was, you said, what are we going to name our kids? What if the phrase was, if we have kids one day, what would you name them? It's all conditional. So that way it's not real. I think Victoria called it. He assumed that, but I think Sophie fucked up as well, is that she said, well, he's seen the scar on my body, so he knows that I have a scar. And I think he would just assume that I would have problems having kids. And I went, honey, no, you should tell him.
Honey, do you know men? Do you know men? They don't understand. They have no fucking clue. So I think they both just don't really have. I think they both don't really have deep conversations about life. Period.
Bottom line, these two people barely know each other.
They barely know one another at all.
But he takes this kind of moral high ground that just rubs me the fucking wrong way. I can already tell, unless something things completely shift, he's going to piss me off every episode, and I'm probably going to be on her side the whole time.
It is a tap for her tit from when she said he cheated last episode. This is what this is. It's payback. He's trying to level the playing field.
So y'all, he says, she basically says kind of some medical trauma. She's like, for me, there was a question if I could even have children. They found a cyst on my ovary when I was 15. It had to be removed. And it's interesting. She's worried about even checking because she's 23, because that is a kind of her own mortality.
That's where I would it really hit me. Something happened on the way to heaven for this woman. The way that she so doesn't want to, maybe somebody died in her life at an early age. She's got, I actually think, ironically enough, I think she's going to be probably the biggest problem I think she's going to be the biggest problem in this relationship's failure, because I don't think she communicates and keeps things. I know he's giving her the silent treatment, but I feel like she's got a world that she hasn't opened up, because he doesn't know about her being able to have kids. He doesn't know that she's bisexual. She's got a lot of secrets. And I think that's going to be the downfall of this relationship. Secrets abound.
I wonder if we're going to find out that was because in the coming this next week, it looks like there was a part where he was in the car and she's like, I wasn't cheating. So I wonder if there's going to be that too.
I don't know.
Anyway, she goes to find him, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, all he ever said about, he has never mentioned kids. He just mentioned about living on some land with some animals, live off the fat of the land like George and Lenny.
Again, this guy, I think, you know what I think? I think this is my gut feeling. She is rooted in her past, and he is just rooted in future thinking. None of them actually are in the present in this relationship.
That's a good observation.
And Jay-Z, Farman, what the fuck?
Now, even Jay-Z and Beyonce got kids.
I get that Jay-Z is very inspirational to especially a lot of black men, because he really had nothing and built this beautiful, amazing empire. Jay-Z is fucking incredible. So I'm not negating that. But the fact that that's what you relate to having
well, it's kind of like he's saying that even Jay-Z and Beyonce, supposedly the busiest two people on the planet, have kids. So I should have kids.
Yeah, I don't think I would say,
I think this
Andy Cohen's a single dad of 2 kids. I should be a single dad too and have 2 kids.
I think he needs to really think about, because for right now, his 2 reasons for having children that he has said is 1, I don't want it to be me and you forever. Mm-hmm. And 2, Jay-Z and Beyonce got kids. So that's his reasons for having children.
And if he didn't want to have kids, then he would just be a player the rest of his life.
Oh
so
my God.
So it's actually, he's also saying, I'm not settling in that. To me, that almost kind of confirmed maybe he did cheat, because he's saying, I know you're not going to make me settle down, but kids will.
If I didn't want to have kids
right now, a kid is not going to make your man stop cheating.
Hell no.
Trust
Trust me, I have faked a pregnancy scare many times. Never really worked. Yeah, never really worked.
I'm glad that the screen actually faded and got a little pixelated right then, because I did want to see your face really when you said that.
I'm late.
We're on video, by the way. If some of y'all want to watch us do the video of this, you can on our $15 tier on Supercast and Patreon.
And you're in this house in
Santa Barbara.
I'm not going to come for their decor, but it is super basic.
It's just 90s. They haven't touched anything.
Like that Le Chat Noir picture in the back was so mass produced. It was everywhere but it was like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, because look, they have a red wall. Remember, we had a red wall in our kitchen.
Accent wall. Yes,
it's all what we had.
It's good. You're kind of stuck in the late 90s, early 2000s, so it kind of fits for you.
Great. I'm reliving it with Brittany right now.
So anyway, y'all, she says, he's like, I couldn't walk down the aisle today. And then she's like, let's talk about this tomorrow. And he's like, I'm going to go walk the dog. I don't know how she can sleep because my fragile feelings have been messed with. I need to go walk my dog.
This is an example to me, y'all, of 2 people with an avoidant attachment style. It is really difficult. Well, we normally have one's anxious, one's avoidant. Two avoidant attachment styles is really hard to get shit done.
Trust me. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with an avoidant or an attachment style or an anxious attachment style.
But you are happy when you're attached by a leash.
That's true.
That's true.
Let's talk about another anxious and avoidant attachment style.
Speaking of leash, they actually made a leash joke in their segment too.
Y'all, I think this is DOA. I think
y'all, we're talking about Nikki and Justin. I don't think they're gonna make it the whole season together.
I think this woman needs a lot of therapy.
There's a lot of I'm not going to pretend to read it all because I really don't care. But if you want to read about Nikki and her past and it's all on the interwebs.
There is some.
I don't want to speculate it about, but some of you are interested in that. Don't send it to me. I don't care, but it's out there if you want it.
I'm not sure why some people think that none of this will ever get out if they have issues. Like supposedly it was Medicare fraud, y'all. There was someone accused her of not paying rent, and
I'm going to need Gary to roll that back for you one day of you saying for you to hear. I don't know why some people don't think this is going to come out.
Nothing is going to come out.
God, I'm so worried if Poodle gets famous, what's going to happen?
My pup mask photos will be everywhere. You can't see it's me, folks.
He is not into her sexually.
Do you think? Well, okay. Let's assume that. Mm-hmm. Let's assume that. Well, he says, I need some time to kind of get to know you again.
Mm-hmm. I think that's just
you
stalling.
Don't believe that?
I think it's just stalling. I think he's a younger dude. It's not like he's having to take a
Well,
blue
he's
pill, anything
36
like that.
now. Yeah.
I just think that like he's very athletic, and I think that maybe he's asexual or his sex drive. I would ask questions, things like, well, are you masturbating? Like, and ask him about that and see if those kind of line up. But yeah.
To me, I think the idea of her wanting always to have sex, it's almost like a Gino perspective. That's a turnoff for him.
I think it becomes when you're deprived of something that is something that should be basic in a standard relationship. You know, sex should be there, and a lot for most people's relationships, unless it's something agreed upon or discussed or it's but they're not any of that.
He's been there 36 hours. She's been there 36 hours.
But this has been a problem historically of them not having sex because she's brought it up before.
Right.
And so it's not just this. I agree with you though. She is kind of like with teeth going, fuck me now.
Well, I think
so intense.
Everything is based on her sexual identity of being extremely desired and kind of like a human blow-up doll.
Well, get that body dysmorphia thing. I need you to, if you're not validating my body in a sexual way, then
especially
I don't feel
as a trans
validated.
person who didn't ever feel comfortable in the body they were born with.
I think it's, I think if she wasn't trans and didn't have body dysmorphia, I still think this would be a big problem if he wasn't having sex with her already.
Yeah.
And she's valid in what she's saying. But then on top of that is, like you're saying, all of her other issues, which make this just so extreme.
So I think also as soon as she feels rejected by her appearance, it goes right back to someone saying she's not feminine enough. She's not enough womanly, doesn't look a woman enough. She's not passing enough. Mm-hmm. And
I think maybe a lot of that she talks about being worried about that, and he's worried about that. I think I actually, don't get me wrong, I'm not necessarily a fan of hers, but I felt for her in this segment because I think it probably makes her feel very lonely and unlovable that he never seems interested in sex with her. And so I felt for her in that instance, but I wonder if they were having sex, would the fear about other people around them, and they're always talking about,
I don't think it would go away.
Would that go away or not? I don't know.
I don't think it'd go away because I think she would. So immediately, you guys, she thinks that if he's not into her, he's got someone else. So it couldn't be that, like you said, he is depressed or she sees it as a binary. If you're not fucking me, you're fucking someone else.
I think people do that a lot of times because it's easier to think about them being with someone else than them thinking you're not attractive.
Oh, that's true.
That's a really painful thing to think about.
Anyway, y'all, he's basically waiting for her to get ready, and she says it's going to take me an hour and a half to 2 hours.
That is ridiculous.
And
it's ridiculous.
Just to go to the park.
Yeah.
And so they are going to the park, and she's like, got ice cream, and she says, lick the ice cream off my face.
I don't want to.
Don't do that to me. I'm not going to lick your face. No. Speaking of smothered. Lick your face.
Lick your face. So you've never demanded a man to lick your face? Lick something
I have not.
You've never demanded a man to lick something off of your face?
Not a food item.
Lick it. I imagine that in the bedroom, you just turn into Nicole. Like, do this or I'm going to give you a knuckle sandwich.
Knuckle sandwich. Kind of.
It's gross. I don't want to lick some ice cream off someone's face in public. It was really just like,
At one point, she's talking to the cotton candy vendor. He won't lick my face.
Isn't that gross when your fiance won't lick your face? I'm like, no. Because he says, you've got makeup. He's going to lick all that
I've got a bunch of kids.
He's going to lick all that fucking pancake makeup off of your face.
It's ridiculous. So y'all, then she starts spiraling because he wants to do a puzzle with her. This is where, and maybe this is weird for me to think this way, but I think he's trying to create intimacy the way he can. He's like, that way we can work on our relationship. This is what makes me want to get hot with you. And she's not having it.
She's not having I don't think she just doesn't. There is this. They're both not validating each other. Like her way of being validated is fucked up, but he's got to compromise some way because that is how she is validated. Yeah, and she, though, in the same cue, is not valid. This is his thing. This is hot for him, and she
puzzles. When I can show you a puzzle piece, you put it in. I think this is bad.
It is so, I wrote, you can see that she is vibrating out of her skin and I don't think she can be comfortable anywhere where she is. I don't even think she sits a lot and watches TV in her house. I bet she's always up. Like, I just feel like she's just a ball of
She has to be in
anxiety
New York
just
around kind of like outrageous people doing photo shoots.
I just think
creative
she
content.
constantly needs to be overstimulated.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually more than the sex and all. I don't really think he's into her. But even more than all of that, I think their energy styles are completely different from one another.
It's just
because he seems so laid back and chill.
The idea of just like she says that she came, this is still what I don't buy. She came to Keisha now to, quote, work on their problems. So maybe intimacy without complete sex might be better.
At least feel like you're going to try that.
Right. So I think that's what he's trying to do. I don't know. Maybe I just don't get this.
I think, they need like a therapist or something like that because I think that he is, she says something that I thought was interesting. And she says that, and I believe her when she says this. After Justin found out she was trans, he acted differently. He became way more macho. He's got to be dealing with his own issues of dating a trans person that probably aren't resolved either. And thinking, if I have sex with someone that I know is trans, does that make me gay? Does that make me, he's brought that up before. And just when we know of Andre,
Moldovan culture.
Oh my God, Andre.
Can you imagine?
Fucking happily ever after. I honestly, I'm not saying this to be shocking. If Andre was in this and someone told this to Andre, I would worry about that person's safety.
Me too.
And so that's the culture he's coming from. And it does, I think his laid back personality and kind of his way of, I can see him saying things like, we'll talk about it later. Yeah. Pushing things, kind of thinking this will just work itself out naturally. This is not something that's typical in his culture. And I don't think he can do this on his own. He needs help.
And I don't think she's equipped to ask him questions about how he's dealing with being with a trans person.
Because she shouldn't. They should have a therapist to do it.
Right. Because any negation of her identity, she can't handle it.
She can't handle it. And also, that's not fair for her to be the therapist in the relationship.
I guess what you're saying, but you have to
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that she can't handle the responses, and she shouldn't be the one instigating, like saying, "What do you think about trans?" And give me an honest. That's not for her to ask. Then you'd have someone.
But what about a couple who they don't have a therapist? How do they get across that ground?
It's especially in a situation like this with a lot of emotional intelligence and a lot of detachment from ego and hearing someone reflecting back what they say without any emotion. A lot of those type of exercises.
There's no way
Nikki
she's going to be able to do that.
Going to be able to do
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
She's so reactive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We wish them the best.
DOA. God.
DOA. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
that's the show.
That's the show.
I'm enjoying this season a lot. Although we now, y'all, next episode, we're meeting a new couple. We now have 2 couples that aren't coming to the U.S. for 90 Day Fiancé.
I could get her name wrong. Devin and Nick, they are coming to the U.S.
But still, now we have her, though, going to Korea.
To meet his family.
It feels like Nikki and Justin and Devin and Nick should be on before the 90 days.
Totally. I agree with you.
We've never had that before. We usually always have, right?
No, you're right. They are enlarging the definitions of this show, always.
Yeah.
Because we've already had, when Happily Ever After, it used to be with just people who were already married.
And now it's just people that are, who knows?
Yeah. People we know. And none of them are happy.
All right, everybody. That's the show. Go to realitygaze.com. Again, if you want to hear this episode commercial free for your pleasure, you can subscribe to our Apple subscriptions tier or our $8 tier on Patreon or Supercast. That's all under the RG Plus umbrella. And you can get those shows ad-free. That will include Love After Lockup. The season is great. And it will include Selling Sunset, Love is Blind, the Bi-Curious episode we did. Y'all really enjoyed us just talking about penises
on Naked Attraction.
On Naked Attraction. And that's what we did. Talked all about dicks.
And pubes and butts and taints and gooches.
Gooches. Yes, gooches. Anyway, I enjoyed that. It was fun. So, all right, everybody. Hey, happy Halloween, kids. Happy Halloween, or because this is airing on Sunday,
this is the week of Halloween.
Yes, so this is Sunday and Halloween's on Tuesday. So I'm actually going to be I'll be in Oklahoma on Halloween, probably handing out candy at my mother's house. That's what I'm going to be doing.
It's going to get wild. I'm going to be in New Orleans.
Yeah, it's going to get wilder, I think, for you.
I would say
pretty much you can put your money on that one, y'all. Put your money on that. Anyway, Pool is going to be there. But seriously, have a wonderful and safe Halloween or a Dia. I can't say it.
Dia de los Muertos.
That's the next day. Or I don't know.
All
there's
Souls
other
Day, All Saints Day.
Whatever. There's a lot of, as Channy says, there's a lot of rituals happening for this week. So anyway, whatever it is you celebrate, have a good time.
The veil between our world and the next becomes thin.
Just remember, have fun, be safe, and vampires are always hot.
Always.
All right, everybody. We call these people lonely hearts because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love in all the wrong places, Poodle?
Yes. And if you've ever told someone about your ovarian cyst to the tune of you can call us.